Ladies and gentlemen, this is David Lynch. The Triplefour podcast is brought to you by Anchor FM. Anchor FM is a free way to distribute your podcast to the internet. I have a podcast about transcendental meditation. I signed up for Anchor FM, and then I started distributing to the whole world for free. Get the application on your iPhone Apple device. You can record into it and then send it out on its way. Thanks to Anchor FM for sponsoring the Triplefour podcast. Now on with the show.
Triplefour. Let's talk about it. Okay, Triplefour podcast.
Yeah, he said this dude makes a meatwad fucking thing for no reason, and then he says Jim Norrison.
Bob Dylan I find personally obnoxious, but the Beatles destroyed culture.
Oh my god.
I got Elon Musk to smoke weed in my Tesla the other day. That's not even a big fucking deal.
Things are crazy right now. You don't know shit, do you?
We really did.
We really didn't.
You know, you can't always get what you want. But you'll find sometimes that if you try,
You just might get it.
Oh, you get it!
that sound bite of Josh going, oh! So, what I was going to say, when I worked in the deli at Schnucks, I worked with a man named Richard Pasta.
Dick.
Who,
Wait a minute, you can't reveal that.
I actually don't remember this. Anyway, I worked with this dude named Richard. So, this dude, in 2005, he was in a car accident, and he got a traumatic brain injury that put him in a coma for 3 months. When he woke up, this dude was an engineer at Boeing. And when he woke up, he had to be reintroduced to his family. He went back to school and got a degree. They gave him a job at Schnucks just so he could be working, but eventually he wound up getting a settlement out of it that like he would never have to work another day in his life.
Yeah.
So the accident left him with a traumatic brain injury, and now
I need to increase it.
he is a motivational speaker for people with other brain injuries.
Okay.
And he's still just like after all of this, he was still a very, very like he's
Articulate
quick with
man.
it. Like he's witty. You know, he has water of the brain, and he's got speech impediment, and he kind of like social cues, not so much.
Yeah. Well, engineering wouldn't have
But
that anyway.
the funniest motherfucker, oh my god, because like he just didn't give a like he didn't the social cues thing wasn't there, so he had no filter, and he would say shit to customers that was the fucking best.
So you would want to say, but you can't. Yeah.
So there was one in particular, like a lot of the time he would come up to the counter, and you know when you go to the deli and get a sample slice, and they're like, "Is this all right?"
Yeah.
He'd just throw it on the counter. He'd be like, "This how you like it?" and then walk away. And the people would be like, what? No, not really, but... And there was one time in particular that there was this dude in the produce section, which is, you know, the same section of the store as deli.
Yeah.
And this dude is eating grapes off of the shelf. And Richard walks to the counter, the corner of the deli, and he goes, "Hey, you can't eat those grapes. Those are our grapes. That's the reason you don't have any grapes. You ate all yours."
Classic.
Love it. Hey, shout out Richard.
That's our grape.
Welcome to the Triplefour podcast, episode 33.
I think that's right.
This is the grape episode.
The grape episode.
You can't eat our grapes.
Yeah, that's
Get
why you
your
don't
own.
have any. Dumbass.
Fucking idiot.
Fuck you.
Yeah, so Josh and I went and saw a show. We saw a band
Yeah.
play music
Uh-huh.
on a stage
Doubt it.
At a venue.
at a venue in a town off a street where cars drive.
Yeah.
And the band was titled
Slaughter Beach.
Dog?
Question mark?
Slaughter Beach Dog.
Yes.
who are opening for We Were Promised Jetpacks.
Yeah, I will always mess it up, so good thing you took care of that.
You what? You didn't.
Every
Remember
time
the
I'm
name of
like,
the band?
we came in jetpack or something. Every time.
Where are the jetpacks at?
Where we were promised them.
They were supposed to show up. in the
Amazon Prime was delivering them. Where are they?
mail. Bezos fucked us on the jetpacks deal.
Look,
A band on Spotify.
Jesus fucked us on that.
So, Josh, tell us about how we got the tickets.
So, in this specific venue, there is the opportunity to win tickets if you're interested in the event. Usually, on Facebook. So when usually when you have it, like it gives people a certain amount of time to get like into the contest. So that way it pulls it like a winner. But I mean, when I went in there, I had no expectations of actually like doing any, just like going to the event or anything like that. I just thought it was an interesting concert. I'm like, yeah, But a few days before the actual concert, was scheduled to go on, I looked at the page and I saw that in the description it was me. I won the contest.
So no
miraculously.
message, no message or anything.
No,
It was
they
just-
never private messaged me. They never I never got a notification from that, in which I thought there was nothing. So if you legit won it and didn't know and you accidentally bought it,
Whatever.
there might be a settlement in there. Yeah. So I just went in there. I went to the description and it was like, oh, okay, shit, all right.
That's me. That makes me think.
That's me.
I must have won a ticket somewhere.
You probably did
along the way.
Yeah.
And
And they just didn't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
And they fucking never DM'd you or anything.
well, yeah, it was in the description of the event. I
Yeah.
remember looking at the thing. It wasn't like you make a post and it says the winners are at.
congratulations. To
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
winner.
they should do that. That should be an easy way. And at some events, they do that.
You think you'd at least get a
Yeah,
notification.
not at all.
Nope.
Nothing. They didn't give a shit.
Not even like it.
They look.
If not a
That's
private
it.
message, then like a notification
Yeah.
on the thing that's like, "Hey, you won."
They low-key never wanted to give me the tickets. So
Yeah,
that's why they
exactly.
So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. I never really have that shit happen.
Do you think
usually.
that if you went to pay for a ticket, that they would?
Oh no, they would allow. They would have said, "Oh,
Oh, yeah,
that'd be
absolutely.
$16."
We'll take it.
Yeah, they would definitely. Yeah,
Yes, this checks.
yeah,
out.
they're not dumb.
I didn't realize they were opening.
Yeah.
Like, until you told me they were, because I had seen the event for their, like I thought it was their show.
Yeah.
And then you told me they were opening for We Were Promised Jetpacks, and I've never listened to them before.
Well, because I had seen the advertise. I saw the We Were Promised Jetpacks advertised
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that
a
too,
lot actually.
but I didn't think. Like I didn't know that I didn't put it together that it was the same event, but Slaughter Beach Dog had their own event also on Facebook. And that's what I had
Yeah,
seen.
yeah.
I thought they were the headliner until Josh told me that he won the ticket.
yeah.
And yeah, they're definitely an opening band. Like I like them.
Yeah.
So to I guess to throw it back a little bit. So if you didn't know, which I bet our listeners probably do, is that Slaughter Beach Dog is two of the members from Modern Baseball.
Oh, okay.
And
I did not.
Well, now you know. You learned something on the Triplefour podcast, the most educational podcast on the earth, number 2 podcast in the world.
Just don't
Learning
steal our
is half the
fucking
battle.
grapes.
Just don't eat our fucking grapes. But yeah, so Modern Baseball, at least for me and a bunch of my friends, was like a huge fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I saw them twice back in the day. Once was in Lawrence, Kansas, which actually was a pretty crazy lineup because there was a band called Crying, which is like emo. If you're an emo band, your name is Crying. Like you just cut to the point. And then Foxing, St. Louis,
yeah.
St. Louis locals,
Okay.
who made a pretty big splash for a while. I don't hear about them ever
No, they're
now,
still
but
making music.
yeah.
I always used to get Modern Baseball and American
Yeah.
football mixed up.
And
Oh, yeah.
there's at the time I discovered Modern Baseball through Bandcamp, like when their first album was kind of like popular. And there was another band, another emo band. I think they were French, called Sport. Modern Baseball's first album is called Sports, and then American Football is another band with a sport-related name. So the first Modern Baseball show, though, was Crying, Foxing, a band called Somos that were okay, and then there was Knuckle Puck, who were another kind of
I've
popular
heard the name.
pop punk band. I thought they were awful. Like, it was not my brand of, not my cup of tea. And then Modern Baseball was the headliner. And then the second time I saw him was with Joyce Manor at the Ready Room in St. Louis. That was one of the best shows I ever saw, to be honest, because it was just so much fun and so much good energy on what would end up being Modern Baseball's last real tour, because then they broke up, kind of. I think it was for health reasons, because of Brendan, the lead singer, had to stop being in the band, stop touring or something.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. So now, Jake, who's the other songwriter, it feels like his project, but also Ian Farmer, the bassist, is playing with them too.
Yeah.
So we were walking around the venue, and we're like before the show, and we saw that Jake from Modern Baseball / the dog of Slaughter Beach Dog,
The dog of Slaughter Beach,
was running merch. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Let's go talk to him. So we went up to him, and this is where I think you'll weigh in, Nick, because this is a little debate that I had in my head afterwards. We went up to him, and I think Slaughter Beach Dog is okay. I think it's like, it's very middle of the road. It's all very mid-tempo, and it's like Modern Baseball was like emo anthems every song.
Yeah.
And then this is kind of very low-key coffee house, like
mid-tempo, slow tempo,
Yeah.
one of those two. There's some songs that have a bit more higher tempo to it, but they're few and far between.
and not a lot of hooks. It's not a like catchy chorus group,
No.
in my opinion. Somebody's listening to this like, oh, go with this fucking guy. I love this band. Fuck him.
I do like the band. That's the funny part.
Well, I don't have a problem with him. I'm just like, it's not blowing my trees,
Yeah.
But anyway, so I went up to him and I was like, hey, dude, like Modern Baseball was like huge for me, and I like the new stuff too. But and Josh, asked him a couple questions about the new album or whatever, and I bought the CD. Because the way I see it is like, if you go up to the merch booth and you start chatting somebody up, you better buy something, because you're kind of like
It's holding up the line.
well, there was no line.
Yeah.
It was just
okay.
yeah.
But even still,
But even
if you're
still,
gonna
it
come
felt
up
like
and be in that
fan
proximity,
guy. Yeah.
and be
Yeah.
fan guy, then you better have some money to shell out.
But so like he was very chill. I was, maybe I'm overanalyzing, but I just felt like once I said that, I immediately wish I didn't say it, because I was like, I bet this guy.
I've had it so many times.
Well, I was like, I bet this guy doesn't want to hear about Modern Baseball. Like it's like, and I was trying to think of another example of a band like this where it was like, okay, so the band they were in a huge band, and now they're doing this like low key like solo thing, like I'm being a serious artist, like doing the acoustic ballads thing. And I couldn't really come up with anything. I would think it was like, well, Oasis, they just fucking love talking about Oasis because whatever, they're like that. But like, or something like that, like the guy from the band went solo and took himself really seriously, and he doesn't want to hear about the band, you know what I'm talking about?
What about maybe Sting and the Police? Because Sting didn't know what
Well,
else.
Sting, yeah. But Sting definitely.
I don't know much of the story behind that, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, just Sting like really wanted to be, I'm fucking Sting, man.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. And he became virtually as popular as the Police. I feel like,
I think so too.
or like somebody like Lou Reed, or
Well, it's any kind of level of celebrity, and you have a certain piece of your work that's associated with, like, I saw an interview of Paul Rudd talking about, they're like, what's the thing you get? Actually, it might have been on Hot Ones, where they're like, what's the thing that you most commonly get in the street? They're like, it's Ant-Man, because you're one of the Avengers. And he's like, that's fine. Like, I'll take, like, if they're fans or kids, I'll take a picture with them. Like, they're excited to see Ant-Man, like.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, it's not like I definitely didn't have any ill will by telling this guy that his former band meant a lot to me, because
Well,
it did,
yeah, no.
Yeah.
obviously, and he should know that, and he probably did. I'm just thinking, like, I feel like all artists are narcissistic in
A little bit,
know,
but
like-
also on the receiving end, I've gotten that before. Where, like, in my regard, I don't think that I'm my own worst critic, but
oh yeah,
I've had people compliment my playing or whatever, and there's always some kind of, like, obviously you know that it's a sincere thing, but on the receiving end, sometimes you're kind of like, how do I, like,
yeah.
I've never been great at taking compliments like that, and I'm just kind of, oh, thanks, you know, like.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way, especially if it's something I feel like I'll always say in my head, like, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. You know, like, you're like, man, that last video you made is super good. And I'm just like, what would you know about that? Like, I do have that thing, even though, again, I know I don't mean ill, you know, like, but there's,
Hey, you know your last video that you made?
yeah, what was that?
I hated it.
Well, that sucks.
Fucking loser.
Damn, bummer.
Sucked ass.
Suck ass.
Ass.
But yeah, that was a little conversation I had in my head after talking to him. And then they played, and look, it was such a weird vibe because there was chairs set up for this show.
Oh,
There's
like,
there's a certain
There was a
section
pit,
for the
but-
pit, and then there was a certain section with just chairs
It's a
and
dorm.
tables.
oh, Delmar Hall.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
And then
Like
behind,
in the pit, they had chairs, or
a part of it,
yeah,
but like there was a top level.
because I know they have, like, on the upper tiers they have chairs and tables and stuff, but not
Yeah.
like at the front by the stage.
But we were on the top level, but there were chairs and tables in like not the whole pit. There was definitely standing room, but
there were tables in the
there
pit.
were tables in the pit. And and when Slaughter Beach Dog was playing, like I said, very mid-tempo acoustic stuff, and
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like I'm in like Greenwich Village or something right now. Like I'm just like listening to like some guy just up there like, and it felt like Llewyn Davis when he's like playing, and it's just kind of like, all right, don't worry, I'll just it's gonna be over soon, you know, shit like that. Like he was saying stuff like that because weirdly, this was a We Were Promised Jetpacks heavy crowd. I didn't.
oh, I know, yeah.
Like,
it was weird.
I didn't expect that because people were not
They
really
wanted
paying
the
attention.
They wanted the fucking jetpacks.
Give me those fucking jetpacks now.
You could just tell from the like kind of vibe of the room, though.
talking.
They just didn't really realize that these guys were a part of modern baseball. You could just kind of tell. There's
Yeah.
some there that you might, because some of them actually did come up to Jake and be like, "Oh yeah, you know, I
Yeah.
remember." But it's like I think it was few and far between. Most people there were like definitely We Were Promised jetpacks.
Yeah, jetpack heads, as they call
Yeah,
them.
yeah, obviously. But
Jetters.
I mean, yeah. After I talked with Jake, I'm like, oh, you know, it's like I always wanted to like have a question there, just because it's just they're fucking sitting there, you know,
yeah.
they're gonna get the same shit, like, you know, be like, so
That's the worst for me
how it is.
with the band, like talking to band guys at a merch table thing, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go up and say something, and then I reflect back on the conversation that I had, and I'm like, that was fucking awful. Like, I always come up with something good or like that would have been better to say later on, and I'm
Yeah.
like, why the fuck, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I talked to Jake about like the theming of his newest album, because I listened to previous albums. I'm like, are you continuing the story of like what you're building? Because it's like the whole like his whole discography right now is building this entire made up town.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so are you continuing with this album, or are you just kind of taking like a new direction in it?
Yeah, I do now, after so many years of going to shows and now playing shows and being friends with a lot of local people that are working musicians. Whenever I do go to, like, there's a new band, or I go to a show and there's a band on the bill that maybe I didn't know about that I wind up liking a lot, and I decide, oh, I'm going to buy their merch. You know, I'll go up, and if they're sitting at the table, if it's someone from the band, I'll be like, I'll ask them, which one of these are you most proud of? Because that's the one I'm going to buy.
Yeah. See, like, I usually will go for the new one if that's the situation I'm in, because I just think, like, that's what they're trying to move usually, or their thing
Well,
they're
yeah.
interested
Yeah,
in, you know.
yeah.
That's, I mean, you got a good thing going there. That's a good call. But, okay, so, like, one time, the Middle Class Fashion show, well, John Mouse show, And I went up to the booth and I was like, "Can I get the CD?" Thinking the new one. And they literally only had the one from 8 years ago, which I listened to a lot in my car, actually, but it sounds super dated also.
Yeah.
And then I listened to the new album and was like, this is way better. Wish they had that.
The one from 8 years ago, was it hand written Sharpie on a burned CD?
No, I mean, it was a produced CD packaging. I mean, it was just like a 2011 kind of indie pop sounding songwriting. That's what I mean. Like very catchy, hooky, like
There
summer.
was a damn, I can't remember the name of the group. They opened for Crumb when we went and saw them last November,
bread.
which is also at Del Mar Hall.
Garlic.
But it was a group. It was a group.
You get it.
Yeah, crumbs, bread,
Italian.
sandwiches.
We have fun here.
Anyway, the band Crumb. I give up.
I'm sorry.
I'm leaving.
Did they
I
break
quit the
apart?
I'm not
podcast.
trying to ruin it. I'm just laughing at the idea of, guys, we're going to see these bands tonight. Bread and Crumb.
I'm not.
Well, Bread is a band, so.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first found Crumb, I hated the band name.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's a very good band name, but they make really good music. So
No,
I'm
Crumb is the
willing to
song.
look-
Lockett is the band. Go on.
I'm gonna fucking fight tonight on the podcast. Me and Dan are gonna fucking throw hands.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I do it to you all the time.
Yeah, you do. Go ahead.
Jesus.
I'm saying go ahead.
The band that opened for
You can
Crumb.
go.
This is a podcast of throwing hands.
Not a fan of this bit. The band that opened for Crumb, they were from Brooklyn. It was kind of a very funky, lo-fi, jazzy hip-hop thing, not dissimilar from Crumb, go figure. And the girl from the group that was fronting the group, she was standing behind the merch booth. And I went up and I asked about the CD, and they literally had one, like, in a paperback, like just a regular blank white paperback sleeve, and it was a burned CD with the title written in Sharpie. And she was like, "Here." I was like, "How much is it?" She was like, "Whatever, however much." And I just I was.
Oh.
You do.
I had consumed some things that night.
Some bread.
Yeah, some bread. I ate some crumbs.
Yeah.
And I just kind of
As you
reached
do.
in my pocket and had money, and I was just like, "Here you go." She's like, "Cool."
All right.
Turns out it was $120.
I ate too many crumbs. They started giving away money. Well, getting the like handmade CD is cool because it's akin to it's better than like even like getting an autograph. It's like they made this. Like if a Crumb is blowing up to some degree,
Yeah,
so I mean like
they're doing well.
so when they're playing Coachella in a few years, and you have that CD.
It wasn't Crumb's CD.
Oh, it wasn't Crumb CD.
No, it was the
Oh.
band that opened for Crumb.
Oh, it was Bread's CD.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was Crumb's. That
Paid $120 for bread CD.
I also bought Crumb's CD, but
I also
No,
bought
this is-
Crumbs.
They were selling them on the booth. I don't know.
Somebody finished their Danish and they just cut up.
I can't wait for their next band. It's gonna be called Crust.
Ooh, I like that.
See?
Sweet.
Exactly.
Okay, so this also reminds me of. I don't think I've ever talked about this on the podcast before, but if you dig back into the archives of this channel, of the Triplefour YouTube channel, if you're listening to
You'll
this on
find some
YouTube,
pretty neat stuff.
you'll find some cool stuff. If you're not listening to it, check it out. Triplefour on YouTube, and
Spotify, Apple Music,
Spotify, Apple Music, one word,
all of them.
all of them. Stitcher, Breaker, Castbox. We're on everything. But anyway, check out Triplefour on YouTube. Go back in the archives if you want to see a really crappy skate video I made called.
You don't know shit.
No, it was. Wow, like I can't remember it now.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't know shit.
I know, I'm an idiot. Even though it was the one that I shot. Maybe you guys know. The one I shot at Jefferson Barracks.
I can't remember.
Can't tell you.
Couldn't tell you. You didn't make that video.
Scarch, can you pull that up? Oh, it's called Jefferson Barracks. Okay.
Oh, well.
Nice.
So, yeah. Anyway, so
Thanks, Scarch.
I made that video in like 2012, and so we used a song called "Swan Dive" by a band called Swimming that I found on Bandcamp. So Swimming then got a record deal. They put out a really good album called "Feel Not Bad," and I went to go see them at the Firebird, and it was a bill of like 5 bands, and I don't remember.
That's too many.
It was a lot. It was mostly local acts too, and they were really pathetic, to be honest. There was a band called Stone Chat that was 2 guys who were just really drunk and were just yelling nonsense. That's all I remember. It was really funny. It was one of these shows where everybody in the crowd is just in the other bands that are playing that night. But Swimming, I had sent them that video when I made it, and said, "Hey guys, like I used your song. Is that cool?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure." And then this was like maybe 2 years later. I went to go see them live, and I came up to one of the guys and was like, "Hey, I made that video a few years ago with your song in it." And they were like, "Whoa, like that was the first time anybody like ever like recognized our music online who wasn't just like some local fan or something." So like I was like the first signs of life for this band, you know, like, which was really cool because I don't know, I just found
It's a good feeling on both ends.
Yeah, exactly. And they were super excited, and we like talked a while, and
that's like a genuine interaction versus being like, "Hey, I really like your," and like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Yeah, and then this happened to be the first or second night of the tour, and it was the first time that they had the CD of their debut album, and I was the first person to buy the CD. So I'm #1 fan confirmed. I had also ordered the vinyl record at one point, and like I think that the album came out in 2014, and I had pre-ordered the vinyl. Totally forgot that I did it. And then seriously, like 3 years later, I got a package in the mail, and I opened it. I was like, "What is this?" It was the record, and I was like, "This is nuts!" And there was 2 other bands' albums in there from the same record label, and it said like, "Sorry for the wait. Here's 2 other albums." And so I got
Sorry
3
for
records.
the wait.
It was nuts. I totally forgot I ordered that.
Was it literally 3 years?
It was like a really long time. Like it was at least 2 or 3 years. I don't remember the day I got the record, but like I ordered it in 2014, forgot that I did it, and then it showed up, which was crazy.
That's kind of wild.
And they went on, they put out another EP, and then they totally disappeared. And I would really like to know what happened to them. I'm friends with one of them on Facebook. So Joel.
Maybe they're swimming somewhere.
Maybe. But on that EP, it said, like, look out for new material later on this year, and then it never happened. That was 2017, I think. So,
Well,
bummer. So Joel, if you're out there swimming, if you're out there, hope those guys are doing well.
throw you a pool noodle.
Yeah. A similar story was with the Jumbo and Slim video, which is again another thing where I found this band called Werewolf Police. On
Now that's actually the You Don't Know Shit one, right?
No, that when I was filming the You Don't Know Shit thing came later. We were just goofing around, kind of. We wasn't filming for something.
Boot goofing.
Yeah, just
a little bit of a goof.
whatever that means.
A little bit of a goof.
New boot goofing.
No, just Ted Nugent.
Like Reno 911.
No, I've never watched
Ted
it.
Nugent.
Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent.
No, Jumbo and Slim was earlier, 2012. So, just about eight years ago now, coming up. And that one I found the song Jumbo and Slim by Werewolf Police. Talked to that guy through email, and same deal. He was like, "Well, this is awesome. I didn't know people like found our music," and then he put it up on their channel without telling me. It was kind of weird, and labeled it, the music video. So I was like, "Well, I guess I'm officially I have the official music video for Jumbo and Slim now." So, Werewolf Police, Tynan, I don't know how to really pronounce it.
That's
Hope you're
still
doing well
up?
too. What, the video?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Scarch.
the video still. They haven't put out music in a while though.
Pull it up.
Check out Werewolf Police. Check out Swimming. Swimming is SW/MM/NG. So go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of swimming and things that I checked out this week,
Pools. You ever heard of them?
I did watch Beach Bum,
Oh, okay.
and I fucking loved it, dude.
Yeah.
It was, well, because we had discussed previously Spring Breakers, which
Yeah.
I hated. I did not like that fucking movie.
That's because you're not woke, but
Okay, well, anyway, another Harmony Korine joint that I actually liked
yeah.
quite a bit. And I love the whole... Well, first of all, that Snoop Dogg could never play any other character other than himself.
Yeah.
And Isla Fisher's super hot. I'm going to throw that
Yeah.
out there. I
Yeah.
think that's pretty
Obviously.
widely known. But I just love the whole romanticization of Key West and, like, these people that, like, they just live in Margaritaville. What the fuck was
That was
that?
his keys or
Keys.
something.
Oh, that was weird.
My keys.
But it's like a dream,
Yeah.
you know? Like
It's like a poem.
it is like a poem.
Yeah.
But just the fact that he is just larger than life
And cannot be destroyed.
and cannot be destroyed, which I guess essentially is kind of the same as James Franco's character in Spring Breakers, even though he does, like, there is the eventual downfall. But this dude he's just living a dream, and it is like...
I think they're both. So for one, Harmony Korine moved to Florida at some point, and he
only makes movies about Florida.
Yeah, that's his thing now. Which I think is kind of interesting because, he was making films about New York and LA, I guess. I guess Gummo is a Midwest thing, but he, makes these films about the disgusting underbelly of society. And I think both Spring Breakers and Beach Bum are very similar in their, like, satire. The thing that struck me way more on Beach Bum on the second go was that, like, and the first time I watched it, I was just like, this is just kind of a vibe. This is just kind of a vibe movie. Everybody's just vibing. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, fuck, this is really dark because he's such an awful person.
He's the fucking worst.
Yeah. They're all terrible people. They're, like, super rich. They don't care what they do or what happens. And I think they're just these hedonists. I think McConaughey's character is, like, trying to feel oppressed, like, in some way. Like, he's putting stuff upon himself so that he can be, like, in the painful state that he needs to be to write poetry.
The point of being the Beach Bum character.
Yeah.
Like, he has this smoking hot wife, and
Yeah.
she's got a huge fortune that is just at his disposal, but he decides to go and live like a bum away from this multi-million-dollar mansion for months and months at a time.
He still has the privilege
Of just showing up and using
because
that,
he can just at any time go back to being a rich dude. And well, like, he makes all that money and then he burns it, and it's like, that's a pretty good example of, like, what an asshole. Like,
like it's like $48 million.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna light some fireworks and
It's
Call it a day.
and yeah, it's like, and it is so cutting, and it's a satire, but like you do love him still. Like you're kind of like,
yeah,
he's so much fun to watch.
Uh,
It's such a weird feeling.
Anyway, the difference between Spring Breakers and The Beach Bum as far as the main character, and I just think that there is more of a likability and a life lesson. I don't know. Maybe I need to watch Spring Breakers again, but I just felt like it was.
I feel like maybe you should go into Spring Breakers with more of like watch it like a Safdie Brothers movie kind of, because it's like that their movies are about kind of unlikable people, but like
Yeah.
they're I mean
it didn't really have anything to do with the main character. I just didn't like the pacing of it, of Spring Breakers.
that one's also a dreamy poem kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I don't know what it was. That just it didn't strike me like the Beach Bum did. But the thing with the Beach Bum, there are some better life lessons in there that you could pull away. I just like the one quote, not saying that this is a huge life lesson or anything, but one quote that did strike me from that is when he says, "It's not that far down if you don't look."
Yeah.
I don't know why that just struck a chord with me.
I love Jonah Hill in it.
Oh my
he's so
God.
funny.
He's like the Southern Belle.
Yeah. Well, he's like Jonah Hill, and then Zac Efron.
Oh my
is
God.
like
Dude, Zac Efron's character fucking goes, dude. That beard.
insane.
And he just
He's like loves Creed.
he just beats the shit out of it. He's just like, look, we got money. Like,
That movie's insane.
also,
check it out.
like, you'll never guess how I broke out of the mental hospital. Or no. That's I'm mixing that up. That was Brigsby Bear, but I mean, essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
When they leave rehab.
I don't think I watched anything worth talking about, honestly. Everything sucks.
I did have one more.
Go ahead.
Thunder Road.
Okay.
Great fucking movie.
Agreed. Next.
I was blown away, honestly, at Jim Cummings' performance in that.
What did you know about that before you watched it?
Nothing. I saw a bunch of really good reviews, and I know that you had suggested it to me, or well, put it on a list of movies for me.
Yeah.
And it was just something that was like an hour and a half, and I was like, yeah, that seems doable.
It's really like, it's really an admirable movie just because he did everything himself.
Yeah.
He wrote, directed, produced acts, and he did some of the music all himself. And then also like the tone is so interesting because it's like it's a really dark movie, but it's also hilarious. Like
it's fun, definitely.
at the same time.
Yeah, he's a comedian.
Yeah.
There is humor inlaid there, but yes, it is very dark comedy, and also coming up from a place of sadness. Like, just it's very humanizing.
Joker.
And it also goes into the whole thing of like, now, I'm gonna say this on the internet, but I'm not a fan of Police. Not the band, actual
What?
Police. But
oh wait, that's the one that got Josh. Now he's offended. He
Going
said he
into
didn't like
fuck.
in the band.
I just woke up. What?
goes into the whole thing of what. Well, I mean, there's also the subject of the divorce and the custody battle and all of that, but on top of that, the pressure that comes with being a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
Like that scene where he melts down in front of the whole fucking department.
Yeah.
That was intense. That was his delivery on that was incredible.
Like you really have to again admire like his vision, because if he's not only acting that himself, but he's directing himself, and it's like speaking from some experience. Hard. You just have to like know exactly what you want to do because nobody else can tell you how to do it. Like especially for like such intense, demanding scenes. Like so, Josh, the first like 10 or 15 minutes of Thunder Road is a single take of him giving a eulogy.
The funeral is
Yeah.
rough.
And it's like he's really sad, and he's like partially breaking down, but then also he like does this like dance
It's like an interpretive.
to Thunder Road by Bruce
Ballet.
Springsteen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it's wild. I think so. I'm pretty sure he actually first made a short that was just that part, and that's how he
And
maybe
then
got
built
funding.
the rest of
Yeah.
Okay. I will also say the scenes between him and the daughter.
Oh yeah.
That was something.
Yeah.
The whole like he's really trying, but she's more attached to the mother, and he's trying to be a good, involved father, but
It's coming back to me now. I remember there's the thing about like the patty cake thing.
yeah,
And then he's
there's
like-
that he has the fucking thing on the.
Oh, yeah.
dude, it was
That's
that
so
was really
good.
good, and that's not revealed until like way later on.
Yeah.
but
Brilliant. Check it out, Thunder Road. Hey, just saying. Notice how all these movies are on my top of the decade, top of the
oh
past
shit.
few years lists. Guys, maybe I'm on to something.
If Dan tells you to watch a movie,
Do it.
Just fucking do it.
Speaking of films with Bruce Springsteen songs for titles,
we're doing this again.
I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
Good seg.
Darkness on the Edge of Town coming soon. Anyway, so quick plug. I say, you know, a little announcement. We did make made a new film. It's not available as of recording. It'll be made available to fans at some point. What?
That was a sigh for.
Oh,
For the fans?
and for the fan. It's for the fans.
For the fans.
It's for the fans.
Whatever, it's for the
It's an
fans.
Easter egg.
I don't even know what we should say. It was a short film. It's called Gangnam Style Official Music Video
Yes.
by Psy.
Huge in Korea.
Takes 5 years to film it.
Yeah, it took
Yeah.
a really long time. Actually, that video came out 8 years ago.
It's 11 years and $17 million. There
Yeah.
are 150 wild lions.
Song released 15 years
Dan
ago.
got mauled by a lion and had to get 220 stitches.
Yep. At one
It was
point,
nuts.
Christian Bale was attached, but we couldn't get him.
He went off on some guy that was walking through the set.
Yeah.
And
And he said, remove all footage of me. Do not. I honestly shouldn't even been talking about this. He's going to sue me.
Yeah. He looked like he just came out of The Machinist, so.
Tom Hanks told us he loves it.
But also that I couldn't say that he said that.
Right.
We're doing it anyway
Yeah.
because we're rebels.
John DeBont said that we were...
Jan de Bont.
John
Jan
DeBont.
DeBont told us that we were pushing the envelope of cinema.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I forgot about that. On a real note, it's called Cyborg. It's a short film. Hopefully you'll see it soon. Just polishing some little things, and it's going to be a little bit of a low-key release just because I want to see what I can do with it as far as the markets go. Stars all of these three boys. So yeah, Cyborg. Keep an eye out for it. I'll put it on the Triplefour podcast Facebook page, which you should be subscribed to, liked, or whatever it's called,
If you're a real one.
if you're real. Otherwise, fuck you. Now, we do have a guest today. I'm gonna go get him.
Did you know that we had a guest?
No, I have no idea. He never tells me
boy,
anything.
I think I know who it is.
He just brings people in from the street sometimes. I don't know. Okay, that
Jesus.
you can't be doing that. Tom, you just fucking shook the entire room. You can't be doing that.
It's fine.
Okay, he says it's fine. It's fine. I give up. I can't.
So what do you want from me?
You came here.
I was invited.
Well, you know.
You been working on any jazz lately?
Boot up, boot boot do. There's a little jazz for you.
That's
Yeah, okay, Tom.
pretty
yeah.
much what I was
Yeah,
expecting.
well, yeah, that's...
Jazz.
You, doing any audiobooks? Just,
Horton hears a who.
Horton did hear it.
Coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Never really thought about
You
it. like
know,
that,
yeah, if you
but,
ever-
I will not eat those green eggs and ham.
That's the wrong book.
Sam,
That's the wrong
I
big
am.
tongue. That's the wrong one.
I will not eat them with a fish. I will not eat them
It's-
with a dish or whatever it is.
Tom, you keep going to the wrong one. So, Tom,
You were in a film.
you were in a film.
I've been in many films.
Well, this one, well, actually, you know what? You were in more than one film with Iggy Pop.
Yeah. I was. Iggy.
You okay?
Jim Osterberg. That's
What?
his real name.
Oh.
Jim Ostrich?
Jim Ostrich Pop.
Oh. Yeah, that really explains a lot. I didn't...
I'm starting a new soda company.
Oh, yeah?
Ostrich Pop. With Iggy. Anyway, I was in some films with him.
Well, hold on a minute.
Did you have a question, or you just bringing up facts?
Well, you kind of just...
We don't have a score. We don't,
I had a question, but now I'm just thinking about so much more.
Okay.
Is the soda idea, does it taste like ostrich?
It tastes exactly like ostrich.
What does ostrich taste
Yeah,
like?
see, I know. Yeah.
It's fucking horrendous.
Huh.
You're gonna hate the stuff. But you know me, I'm an experimental guy.
Yeah, but I mean, with you and Iggy behind the brand, I'm sure that...
Well, really, we're just angel investors. Would you know anything about that? Finance? Probably not.
Did you,
No idea.
I had to get a loan. $2 million.
angel? I'm sorry, did you say
Huh.
angel investors?
Yeah.
You're investing in angels?
Yeah, I know. See, that's what I thought.
I wish there was someone around who knew financial terms.
Literally no one here does.
Yeah, no, I had to put some capital into this whole ostrich pop thing.
I wouldn't know anything about
That's-
that. No one would know
That's
here.
really unfortunate.
It's true. We're kind of dumb when it comes to
You know what I'm
that.
doing next week?
Putting more
I'm
capital
going
in.
up to Harlem with the pistol in my pants.
Tom,
Tom, are you telling us you're gonna go shoot somebody? Wait, he left. Right, I just asked him something.
Where was the horse? Did he...
No, I rode a horse, but then I left the horse where I was and I walked back.
Oh, okay.
It's healthier.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of horses, what's the deal with cops on horses? What are they gonna do?
they stow him
You
on
know?
the back.
That's a good point.
I know.
That's a good point.
Fuck.
Same thing. I mean, essentially... Well, I guess the point of motorcycle police is to chase other motorcycles.
They can pull over cars too.
Well, yeah, but if you're in a car and you're a ruthless criminal and a cop's riding a motorcycle, you could just smoke that fucking cop.
This is true. This
That's
is true.
true. That's true. Yeah.
I don't think that they're supposed to pursue cars, for real, for real. I mean, like, they do, obviously. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I guess they just assume most people aren't going to
are
murder a
fucking,
policeman.
yeah, murderous criminals.
I have a stance to make, and that's that.
Tom Waits really isn't Tom Waits.
How long
Yeah.
has Tom waited?
His name is Robert Speeds.
How long do you think that Tom is willing to wait for?
His whole life.
I don't.
Wow, that's kind of a Waits-esque lyric almost. I was going to say, though, I have a stance to make. With those bumper stickers that say, watch out for motorcycles, excuse you, watch out for cars, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You're in more danger.
Seriously, you make one
Well, those are
false
probably
move.
people that have cars that also own motorcycles that are cyclists that
96% of people who operate motorcycles operate them in a crazy way, I think.
that's true.
And so you want me to watch out for motorcycles? Like, you don't have to obey the law. You can just do whatever and hope that I don't kill you by accident. I have to watch out for you. There's some presumption there. that I
Also,
don't
if
care
you live in a fucking residential neighborhood like the suburbs, like a quiet neighborhood, and you own a fucking Harley, fuck you. I hate you. I seriously hate you. That is the most annoying. I don't care how cool you think it sounds or looks to ride that loud piece of shit, but come anywhere near me with that, I fucking hate you.
wakes up in the morning. Every metal thunder.
I thought you were going for Fog Hat.
So I also had this thing too. So when people have like a bumper sticker that says like honk if you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, love sucking dick.
What?
That's the
Honks we love sucking.
That's the standard. Like if you don't realize that you have that on there at some point, if time passes, you'll just forget that you had it because it's a part of your car, and you know, if someone honks at you, do you get fucking mad at it? Like, what the fuck are they honking at me?
Yeah, that's a good. I think maybe it just alleviates their anxiety. They hear a honk, they're like, oh, they must love sucking dick.
Must
They're
love
not
it.
mad at me. They just love sucking dick.
What if you had a bumper sticker that just said honk?
Do it,
Please honk,
please.
Jeb. Please honk.
How about instead of honk if you're horny, honk it makes me horny.
Honk, comma, it makes me horny.
Honk, I'm horny.
Holy honk.
Honk if you love fucking.
Honk if you're a goose.
Huh.
Honk if you understand David Lynch.
There's not gonna be a lot of that.
You don't need to understand him. Think about it.
Something to think about.
Yeah. Honk for the 444 podcast bumper stickers coming soon when somebody designs them, manufactures them, and ships them out. So,
Send us your honks.
yeah. Comment honk.
If you're in the car right now, honk.
Yeah, comment honk
If
on
you
this.
made it this
If
far.
you made it this
Yeah.
far, you will comment honk.
Let's do it.
Honk.
No, if you're a real fan, you'll type "I love sucking dick" in the comments. And then I'm gonna screenshot it and send it to your friends. Anyway,
You just got pranked.
pranked that show with
Pranked.
Ashton Butcher.
Bashed and butchered.
Bashton Butcher, that was
That
it.
was it. Yeah. See.
I went to a couple shows this week myself. More than I've kind of been taking a break here. I went to the farewell show at Fubar. I went to the there was another one that they had, Great American Ghost, Article 3, Body Snatcher. That one was on Sunday or Monday night, important. And then Release the Hounds 2, a benefit for Stray Rescue at the Ready Room.
That was neat.
There's a bunch of local bands. Last year was the first one they did. A bunch of local bands doing cover sets of various. There was Minor Threat and High on Fire and Pink Floyd.
Whoa. What?
All those bands playing
What?
at the Ready Room.
Yeah. No, Daybringer did Pink Floyd, and they're not dissimilar to Who Goes. They're kind of a shoegazy, doomy type deal.
Mm-hmm.
But they did Pink Floyd, and it was super doomy. It was fucking cool.
Cool.
I fuck with the heavy. The bassist mom collapsed in the crowd during the third song.
She was pitting too hard.
was like-
No,
yeah.
she
Just
was
throwing
fucking
haymakers.
78 years old, just throwing down in the fucking pit. It was too much, man.
Punched a man.
Shit.
Yeah, no, it was super weird though. Like I mean, I've seen moments like this at shows before, but I was standing up at the front, and yeah, they like just got into the third song, and then I look behind me, and there's like a whole bunch of people circled around this older woman,
Mm-hmm.
and they had like EMTs there, and one of the dudes ran up and gave him the signal like, "Yo, cut it," like, and my buddy Marcus from Fister was like, Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna finish that song. Thank you.
Wow.
And then everyone was just like, oh,
Okay. Ooh.
okay. Apparently she was fine. They got her in the ambulance and got her to the hospital. I think she was just old and her knees locked up and
Throw one punch and you're fucking out yourself.
Well, it's been a good podcast. Cyborg coming soon. Darkness on the Edge of Town coming soon.
A lot of things in the works.
Hey, I'm just, working hard, We're all working hard. Watch Evangelion. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you want.
Throw a plug like that out there.
Yeah. Now we're just going to sit in silence for a little bit.
a moment of silence for
Tom Waits.
Yeah, he died on the way out of this. And begin.
Tom Waits. Will I ever enjoy jazz again? Whoa. Oh, man, it fucking hurts. Oh. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. 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 I'm back.
Tom?
Is that you, boy?
Bye.
He did again.